The vast emptiness of space stretched before the Terran Dawn, Earth's most advanced flagship. Admiral James Stone stood on the bridge, his weathered hands clasped behind his back as he watched the stars through the massive viewscreen. The ship, along with its fleet of 5 other vessels, represented humanity's first real venture into deep space. "Admiral, we're picking up unknown signals," reported Officer Tom Wilson from his station. His fingers danced across the holographic controls, bringing up detailed scan results. "They're definitely artificial, and they're heading straight for us." Stone nodded calmly. After 20 years in space, very little surprised him anymore. Battle stations, but keep weapons powered down. "Let's not start a war on our first day out here." The bridge crew responded with practiced efficiency. Red warning lights pulsed silently as crew members took their positions. The unknown vessels appeared on their screens. 3 sleek, purple-hulled ships that moved with impossible grace. "They're hailing us," Wilson announced. "Put them through," Stone ordered, straightening his uniform. The main screen flickered to life, revealing a tall, blue-skinned alien with multiple eyes and ornate clothing. Its voice came through the translator with a mechanical tinge. "Attention primitive vessels. You have entered space controlled by the Galactic Council. Power down your engines and prepare to be escorted to the nearest outpost for processing and integration." Stone raised an eyebrow and actually chuckled, causing the alien's eyes to blink in sequence. "I'm Admiral James Stone of the Terran Fleet. While we appreciate the welcome, I don't think we'll be powering down anything today." The alien's skin darkened slightly. "You dare laugh at the Council's authority. Your species is unknown to us. You must submit to proper protocols and—" "How about this instead?" Stone interrupted. "You scan our ships, we scan yours, and we skip the part where you pretend to be intimidating." The alien commander sputtered, clearly not used to such disrespect. "Initiating scans now. You will see the power of Council technology and—" The alien stopped mid-sentence, its eyes widening as data streamed across its screens. Stone smiled. He knew what they were seeing. The Terran Dawn's quantum engines, crystalline computer cores, and advanced shield technology were far beyond anything they'd encountered. Their weapons remained powered down, but the energy readings alone would tell them everything they needed to know. "Impossible," the alien whispered. "These readings, they cannot be correct. Your species, how long have you been spacefaring?" "We achieved our first space flight about 300 years ago," Stone replied casually. "First colony on Mars a few decades later. We've been busy since then." The alien commander's skin had turned almost white. 300 years. But the Council protocols, the development guidelines, this level of technology should take at least 5,000 years to achieve. Stone leaned forward in his chair. "Maybe you've been doing it wrong. Now, we're happy to establish diplomatic relations with your council, but it'll be as equals, not as subjects. What do you say?" The alien ships had already begun backing away slowly. "The council must be informed of this immediately. Remain here. Do not move. Representatives will arrive to talk." Stone suggested helpfully. "That's fine. We'll wait. Oh, and you can tell your hidden ships behind that asteroid belt that they can come out now. Our sensors detected them 20 minutes ago." The alien commander's jaw dropped as 2 more council ships emerged from their hiding spots. The transmission cut off abruptly. Stone turned to his crew, all of whom were trying to hide their grins. "Well, that was interesting. Officer Wilson, send a message back to Earth. Tell them first contact has been established, and it's going to be a very interesting conversation." As the message was sent, Stone couldn't help but smile. Humanity had spent centuries preparing for this moment, advancing their technology at a pace that would have terrified most species. Now they knew why. The galaxy, it seemed, needed a shake-up, and humans were just the species to do it. 3 days had passed since the first encounter with the Council ships. The Terran Dawn and its fleet remained in position, their crews busy analyzing the constant stream of alien communications they were intercepting. The space around them had become increasingly crowded as more council ships arrived to observe the human fleet. "Admiral," Officer Wilson called out, "a large ship just dropped out of faster-than-light travel. It's huge." The massive vessel that appeared dwarfed everything else in the area. Its surface gleamed with golden metal, and ornate patterns decorated its hull. The ship was clearly designed to impress. "Another hail coming in," Wilson announced. "This one's different. They're using some kind of enhanced transmission." The main screen lit up to show a group of different alien species seated in what looked like a luxurious meeting room. Their spokesperson, a tall being with silver skin and flowing robes, stepped forward. "Greetings, humans. I am High Speaker Reed of the Galactic Council. Your presence has caused quite a stir among our members. We request the presence of your leaders aboard our diplomatic vessel." Admiral Stone exchanged looks with Ambassador Anna Wright, who had arrived from Earth the previous day. She nodded slightly. "We accept your invitation," Stone replied. "Ambassador Wright, and I will represent Earth." The journey to the council ship was tense. As their shuttle approached the massive vessel, Wright studied the data pad in her hands. "Something isn't adding up," she muttered. "Their technology, it's all so uniform. Every species seems to be developing at exactly the same pace." Their shuttle landed in a massive docking bay. As they stepped out, both humans noticed how the alien crew members backed away, their body language showing a mix of fear and curiosity. An alien official hurried up to them, its four arms moving in complex patterns. "Please follow me. But first, you must wear these safety suits. Your rapid development has made many species nervous." Stone and Wright exchanged amused glances, but accepted the thin, transparent suits. As they walked through the ship's corridors, they overheard fragments of conversations their translators picked up. "Developing too fast. Dangerous and uncontrolled. Broke all the safety protocols." They were led to a waiting room with a large window showing the stars. A holographic display showed various alien ships, all built to similar designs despite coming from different species. "Notice how they're all the same," Wright whispered. "Every ship follows the same development pattern. It's like they're all reading from the same instruction manual." A small alien with bright red fur approached them nervously. "Is it true?" it asked quietly, looking around to make sure no one was listening. "Did your species really develop quantum computing before mastering fusion power?" "Actually, we developed them at the same time," Stone replied, "along with AI assistance and genetic engineering. Why waste time doing things one at a time?" The alien nearly fell over in shock. "All at once. But the Council's development protocols clearly state that each technology must be mastered in sequence. The risks of parallel development are too great." Wright leaned forward. "And who decided these protocols? Who benefits from keeping species developing at such a slow pace?" Before the alien could answer, the doors slid open. "The Council will see you now," announced a tall guard. As they walked toward the council chambers, Wright whispered to Stone, "They're terrified of us, but not because we're dangerous. We're proof that their whole system is unnecessary." Stone nodded. Earth achieved in 3 centuries what they forced others to spend thousands of years doing. No wonder they're scared. The massive doors to the council chambers opened, revealing 12 elegant alien beings seated in a semicircle. Each one represented a different elder race of the galaxy. The humans stepped forward, their backs straight, their expressions confident. The show was about to begin, and humanity was ready to flip the galaxy's power structure on its head. The council chambers were a sight that would have impressed anyone else. Golden walls reached up into darkness, and floating lights danced in the air. The 12 council members sat on tall chairs that made them look down on visitors. It was all designed to make others feel small. Admiral Stone and Ambassador Wright weren't impressed. "You will bow before the council," announced a tall guard with scales that shimmered like oil on water. "No, we won't," Wright replied simply. She stood straight, her hands clasped behind her back. Earth doesn't bow to anyone. Shocked whispers filled the chamber. Stone fought back a smile as he watched several council members shift uncomfortably in their seats. The head counselor, a being with crystalline skin that caught the light, leaned forward. For 50,000 years, we have guided the younger races of this galaxy. We have prevented wars, stopped disasters, and ensured safe development for all species. You mean you've held them back? Wright interrupted. The chamber fell silent. No one interrupted the council. Ever. You dare, began another counselor, their feathers rising in anger. Yes, we dare. Stone stepped forward. We've studied your ships, your technology, your development protocols. You don't guide species. You control them. Wright pulled out a datapad. According to your protocols, it should take 1,000 years to develop fusion power. Earth did it in less than 300 years. You say artificial intelligence takes 2,000 years to safely develop. We did it in 50. Because you were reckless, shouted a counselor with 6 eyes. Your development was dangerous and uncontrolled. Was it? Stone asked calmly. He pressed a button on his wrist computer. A hologram appeared in the center of the chamber, showing Earth's cities, its space stations, its colonies on other planets. Does this look like the result of reckless development to you? The council members stared at the images. Cities powered by clean energy. People living in harmony with advanced AI. Spacecraft that could bend space itself. But the dangers, the crystalline counselor stammered. The protocols exist to prevent catastrophic advancement, to stop species from destroying themselves. Wright walked forward, her footsteps echoing in the quiet chamber. No, the protocols exist to keep other species dependent on you, to make sure no one advances enough to challenge your power. How dare you? The 6-eyed counselor stood up. We have maintained peace for 50,000 years. You've maintained control, Stone corrected. There's a difference. He pressed another button, and new images appeared. The same designs repeated across different species ships. The same technologies developed in the same order, taking the same time, across thousands of worlds. Look familiar? Wright asked. Every species following the exact same path. Moving at the exact same pace, never innovating, never trying something new, never asking why. The council chamber erupted in argument. Some counselors shouted in anger, others whispered urgently to each other. A few simply sat in shocked silence. We developed AI, genetic engineering, quantum computing, and space folding technology, all at the same time. Stone announced over the noise. We let them work together, build on each other. And guess what? We didn't destroy ourselves. We grew stronger. This is unacceptable, the head counselor declared, standing up. You will submit to our protocols. You will disable your advanced technologies. You will accept our oversight. Or what? Wright asked quietly. The chamber fell silent again. What will you do? Use your ships that are centuries behind ours. Your weapons that can't touch our shields. Your eye that can barely think for itself. Stone stepped forward to stand beside her. We're not here to submit to your protocols. We're here to tell you that things are about to change. The council members looked at each other nervously. For the first time in 50,000 years, they faced something they couldn't control. And it terrified them. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and the old rules no longer applied. The council chambers had grown colder. The floating lights dimmed, casting long shadows across the golden walls. The head counselor's crystalline skin had lost its shine, now looking dull and clouded with worry. You leave us no choice, the head counselor announced, trying to sound firm despite his shaking voice. The council hereby orders Earth to disable all advanced technology within 7 standard days. Refuse, and you will face the combined might of the council fleet. Admiral Stone looked at Ambassador Wright and did something that shocked the council even more than their earlier defiance. He laughed. I was wondering when we'd get to the threats, Stone said, pulling up a new hologram. This time, it showed a complete map of Council space, including all their defense stations and hidden fleet positions. "Let me save us all some time." The Council members stared at the map in horror. A six-eyed counselor jumped to his feet. "How did you get this? These are our most secure military secrets." "Secure?" Wright raised an eyebrow. "Your encryption was outdated by Earth standards 200 years ago. Our ships mapped your entire defense network while you were busy being shocked by our existence." Stone zoomed in on different sections of the map. "You have 47 major fleet bases, 12 supposedly secret shipyards, and 322 defense platforms. Did I miss anything?" "The human ships must be destroyed immediately," shouted a counselor with metallic scales. He pressed a button on his chair's arm. "All fleets converge on the human vessels. Now." Wright pulled out her data pad calmly. "You mean these fleets?" She displayed images of Council ships, all sitting dead in space, their engines dark. "We shut down their power systems 10 minutes ago. Don't worry. Life support is still running. We're not monsters." The chamber erupted in chaos. Council members shouted orders into their communicators, only to receive the same response. Nothing was working. Centuries of unchallenged power were crumbling before their eyes. "This is impossible." The head counselor's voice cracked. "No species could advance this quickly. You must have had help. You must have stolen technology from someone." "No," Stone replied firmly. "This is what happens when you let people think for themselves. When you don't restrict them with artificial limitations. When you let them try, fail, learn, and grow." Wright stepped forward, her voice carrying across the panicked chamber. "Earth's children have already surpassed your mighty fleet. But we didn't come here to conquer. We came here to wake you up." She gestured to the other aliens in the chamber, the guards, the servants, the younger race representatives who watched from the shadows. "Look at them. Look at all the species you've kept in chains. Not physical chains, but mental ones. Rules, protocols, limitations, all designed to keep them dependent on you." Stone walked to the center of the chamber, looking each council member in the eye. "Here's our ultimatum. Change, or become irrelevant. The galaxy is about to evolve, with or without you. You cannot do this." The metallic-scaled counselor shouted. "We are the council. We have ruled for 50,000 years. And maybe that's 50,000 years too long," Wright replied. She turned to address the other aliens in the chamber. "How many of you have had ideas that broke protocol? How many have wondered why you couldn't try something new? How many have looked at the stars and thought, there must be a better way?" The room grew quiet as her words sank in. Several younger race representatives stepped forward, hope beginning to show in their expressions. "The time of protocols is over," Stone announced. "Earth is offering the new way. Free development. Free exchange of ideas. No artificial restrictions. No forced limitations." He looked up at the council members, who sat in stunned silence. "You can fight this and lose everything, or adapt and help build something better. Your choice." The revolution had begun, not with weapons, but with an idea. Freedom to grow. Silence filled the council chambers. The floating lights flickered nervously, casting shifting shadows across the faces of everyone present. Then, something unexpected happened. One of the youngest council members, barely a century into their position, stood up. Unlike the others in their ornate robes, this one wore simple clothes. Their green skin seemed pale, but their 4 eyes showed determination. "I can't stay quiet anymore," the young counselor said, their voice shaking. "The humans are right. About everything." "Counselor Green." The head counselor thundered. "You will sit down and be silent." "No," Counselor Green replied firmly. "For 50 years, I've watched us hold back species that could have done amazing things. I've seen us crush brilliant ideas because they didn't follow our precious protocols." Admiral Stone and Ambassador Wright exchanged glances but remained quiet. This was better than anything they could have said. The protocols were never about safety, Counselor Green continued. They were about control, about keeping our position at the top, about making sure no one could ever challenge us. Wright pressed a small button on her collar, a signal to broadcast this confession across all council space. The truth needed to be heard. Do you know what we really do with new ideas from younger species? Counselor Green asked the chamber. We steal them. We lock them away in secret vaults. We tell the species their ideas are too dangerous, while we study them ourselves. Gasps echoed through the chamber, not from the council members, but from the representatives of younger races who stood watching. Lies, shouted the metallic-scaled counselor. These are lies spread by a traitor, and— Show them the vault, Counselor Green interrupted. Show them the Hall of Stolen Dreams. Show them what we've been hiding for thousands of years. Stone stepped forward. We already found it, he said quietly. Our AI decoded your secure databases days ago. We know about the vault beneath this very chamber. Wright nodded to one of her staff members. Suddenly, new holograms filled the air. They showed massive underground chambers filled with thousands of inventions, designs, and innovations, all taken from younger species. Every time a species came up with something that might let them advance too quickly, you took it away, Wright said. You told them it was dangerous, that it violated protocols. But really, you were just afraid. The younger race representatives began shouting in anger. Generations of their people's work had been stolen, hidden away, all to maintain the council's power. We're broadcasting this across all council space right now, Stone announced. Every species under your control is learning the truth. They're seeing what you've done. The head counselor slumped in his chair, his crystalline skin growing darker. You don't understand. If everyone advances at their own pace, there will be chaos, wars, destruction, or cooperation. Wright countered. Innovation, growth. Look at Earth. We advanced quickly, yes, but we also learned to work together because we had to. Real challenges unite people. Your fake protocols just hold them back. Counselor Green walked down from their high seat to stand with the humans. I move to dissolve the Council's power over technological development, they announced formally. Who will support this motion? One by one, representatives from the younger races stepped forward. Guards laid down their weapons. Even some of the other council members, seeing the way the wind was blowing, stood up in support. The old way is finished, Stone said firmly. It's time for something new. The truth had finally emerged, and with it, the chance for real change. The galaxy would never be the same. And somewhere in the distance, humanity's ships stood ready, not to conquer, but to help guide the galaxy toward a brighter, freer future. The news spread across council space faster than light itself. Within hours, ships from dozens of species broke formation with council fleets. Space stations declared independence. Colonies rejected council authority. A revolution 50,000 years in the making had begun. The head counselor watched in horror as reports flooded the emergency channels. The Centauri systems have declared independence. Mining Colony Block 7 has shut down council control systems. 3 more species have requested Earth's protection. Admiral Stone stood at the chamber center, watching the chaos unfold on the giant holographic displays. A message from the Terran Dawn caught his attention. Admiral. Officer Wilson's voice came through clearly. Council military forces are mobilizing in the outer sectors. They're threatening to attack breakaway colonies. The head counselor stood up, trying to look powerful one last time. Yes, our loyal forces will crush this rebellion. We will restore order. We will. He stopped talking as Stone raised a single hand. Officer Wilson, execute Program Freedom. Across council space, every single military vessel suddenly lost power. Their weapons went dead. Their engines shut down. Only life support and basic systems remained active. Ambassador Wright smiled. Did you really think we spent the last few days doing nothing? We uploaded shutdown codes to every ship in your fleet, just in case. Impossible, the metallic-scaled counselor shouted. Our ships use different systems, different codes, all based on the same protocols you forced everyone to follow. Stone replied calmly. When you make everyone use the same playbook, it becomes very easy to close that book. The chamber's doors burst open as representatives from 30 different species rushed in. They had come from nearby stations and ships as soon as they heard the truth about the council. A tall being with diamond-like skin stepped forward. The crystalline worlds formally reject council authority, they announced. We request membership in Earth's alliance. The deep space miners stand with Earth. The star nations choose freedom. The ring worlds demand independence. One by one, species that had been under council control for thousands of years declared their freedom. Each declaration made the remaining council members sink lower in their chairs. Councillor Green, still standing with the humans, addressed their former colleagues. You have two choices: step down peacefully and help us build something better, or be removed from power. Choose quickly. The head counselor looked around desperately. But what about order? Control. Safety. Safety. Wright laughed. Let me show you something. She projected a new image. Earth's solar system. In the time you've kept others in chains, we've built this. Thriving colonies on harsh worlds. Cities in space. Power sources that could run for centuries. All because we worked together instead of following arbitrary rules. Stone nodded to his ship. Our fleet could disable your remaining forces without firing a shot, but that's not why we're here. We're offering a chance to be part of something greater. The chamber grew quiet as the council members looked at each other. Finally, the head counselor's crystalline shoulders slumped in defeat. We surrender authority, he whispered. The chamber erupted in cheers. Species that had been enemies under council rule now embraced as equals. Scientists from different worlds immediately began sharing ideas that had been forbidden for generations. Admiral, Wright said quietly, I think we just changed the galaxy. Stone watched as Councillor Green began organizing new leadership councils, this time with representatives from all species. No, he replied with a smile. They changed it themselves. They just needed someone to show them it was possible. Above them, the first ships of the new Free Species Coalition began forming up alongside Earth's vessels. A new age of exploration and innovation was about to begin. And this time, no one would be held back. 1 month after the Council's fall, the galaxy had changed more than it had in the previous 50,000 years. The massive council chamber, once a place of oppression, had been transformed into the Hall of Free Innovation. Representatives from hundreds of species filled the space, sharing ideas that had been forbidden for generations. Admiral Stone stood at a window on the station's observation deck, watching ships of different designs move through space. No longer forced to follow council protocols, each species had begun developing technology that suited their unique needs. Quite a view, isn't it? Ambassador Wright joined him at the window. She held a datapad filled with reports from across the galaxy. The crystalline worlds have already developed a new form of faster-than-light travel. Turns out they had the idea centuries ago, but the Council forced them to abandon it. And the deep space miners? Stone asked, smiling as he watched a uniquely designed ship pass by. They've combined their mining technology with Earth's AI systems. They're terraforming dead worlds in weeks instead of centuries. Wright shook her head in amazement. It's like watching children who've been locked in a room suddenly discover they can run. Below them, in the main hall, former council member Green was leading a technology-sharing conference. Species that had once been rivals now worked together, combining their strengths to solve problems that had plagued them for millennia. Admiral. Officer Wilson's voice came through Stone's communicator. You need to see this. The Ring Worlds just sent us their new design plans. A hologram appeared in front of them, showing a massive structure that combined technology from 20 different species. They're building educational centers, Wilson explained excitedly. Places where anyone can learn, experiment, and develop new ideas without restriction. And the former council members? Stone asked, turning to Wright. She smiled. Most of them are actually helping. Once they got over their shock, they realized they had 50,000 years of knowledge that could finally be used to help people instead of controlling them. The station's alerts chimed softly as a new ship appeared near the docking bay. Its design was like nothing anyone had seen before, a beautiful combination of organic and mechanical technology. That's from the Forest Worlds, Wright explained. They combine their living ships with our quantum technology. They say it can regrow damaged parts in minutes. Stone watched as more ships gathered around the station. Each one was unique, representing the freedom each species now had to develop in their own way. The old council's fear of chaos had been proven wrong. Instead of destruction, freedom had brought cooperation. Message from Earth, Wilson announced. The first Free Species University opens next week. Over 1,000 different species have enrolled to study together. In the hall below, cheers erupted as another breakthrough was announced. The Star Nations had found a way to stabilize dying stars by combining 3 different species technologies. You know what the best part is? Wright asked, watching the celebration below. We didn't have to force anyone to do this. We didn't have to conquer or control. We just had to show them what freedom looked like. Stone nodded, remembering how it all started with a simple laugh in the face of authority. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't our technology, he said. It was our ability to imagine something better. As the day ended, ships from Earth arrived carrying more scientists, engineers, and dreamers ready to work with their galactic neighbors. The old council's mighty fleets had been transformed into exploration vessels, their weapons replaced with scientific equipment. The galaxy had awakened from its long sleep, and the future was brighter than anyone had imagined. In just 1 month, species had achieved things that the council had claimed would take thousands of years. And somewhere in the great void of space, new voices joined the cosmic conversation, free at last to reach for the stars in their own unique ways. The age of protocols was over. The age of freedom had begun.